My name is Eric Stevenson, and I'm a board member at the Baltimore Unity Hall. The Unity Hall is a place to bring people together. It occupies a really special space, both geographically here on the border between two neighborhoods, and also the space it's going to create for community organizations that are connected to the broader community.
My name is Fariha Wahid, and I'm a special education teacher at Utah Marshburn Elementary. I'm a teacher just around the corner, and so I really hope to come and bring my students to field trips here. I hope that when I get off work, I can come here and just see a beautiful, inviting building that really is the center of like a robust cultural and arts center for the whole community.
My name is Washina Ford, Senior Director of Community Life for the Community Builders. So we're here to celebrate and to talk about Unity Hall, which has been a huge community collaborative between a lot of community members and residents to bring an asset to the community in which is desperately needed, to provide workforce, to provide a place for recreation, and for the community to gather and feel proud of.
My name is Whitney Birnbaum. I am the Executive Director of CHARM, Voices of Baltimore Youth, and we're very excited to be moving into Unity Hall. I'm also a neighbor and a former teacher here in the neighborhood. Just this idea of having a hub for our young people to come exactly as they are, know that they're welcome exactly as they are, that their voices matter, and that their stories need to be told is incredibly powerful.
My name is Steve Howard. I am a partner at True Chesapeake Oyster Company, and I'm also on the vestry of Memorial Episcopal Church around the corner. I think of Unity Hall as a place where everybody can come together, a place for everybody, a place where it doesn't matter where you're coming from, it's just a place where you want to be here.
My name is Jake Stern, and I am Secretary of Baltimore Unity Hall, Inc., and Director of Development for Somerset Development Company. Unity Hall makes me feel proud to be a Baltimorean, proud to, I'm born and raised here, and this is a symbol of how far we've come. It wasn't that long ago that we were doing things to pull people apart, and here we are bringing people together. So I'm proud to be a part of this.
My name is Petula Caesar, and I'm the founding director of Baltimore Unity Hall. Well, right now, since we're just opening, it's very aspirational. It's kind of what this place is supposed to be at some point, a place where the activities that are happening and the people that are here are interested in unifying. So at this point, Unity Hall is a goal in my mind.
My name is Anthony Francis, and I represent Memorial Episcopal Church. Unity Hall makes me feel alive.
Milo, and I'm almost 7 years old. I just finished 4th grade.
I'm so excited that this space exists.
It's more empty right now.
Unity makes me feel excited.
Why is this building special?
Because my mom is gonna walk here.
My organization, CHARM, Voices of Baltimore Youth, is moving into this building to create a space for our young people.
We're moving in Unity Hall, and we are excited about the next phase of growth for No Boundaries Coalition. It gives us the opportunity to serve at a greater level and hopefully have a greater impact with more people in 21217.
And so Unity Hall presented an opportunity for us to relocate our office here and to really continue to deepen and become a part of the fabric of the community in Central West Baltimore, which we are very passionate about and very excited to finally get that opportunity to do so.
It's an affordable office space. There are office spaces around. A lot of them are not in this neighborhood. If you are running a nonprofit organization that provides resources, services, programming, you want to be in this neighborhood. You don't want to be in Mount Vernon. You don't want to be downtown where a lot of the other office space is. And so this is the nexus point. This is where people can come for all sorts of different programs and resources. It's also going to be the cultural hub for the neighborhood. And there are other places where there's culture, the Pennsylvania Arts District, Mount Vernon has a lot, but they're stretched out in different directions, and this really sort of is right on Utah Place, and it's pulling people back toward what was a gaping wound of segregation. So hopefully it becomes a healing point.
Unity Hall opening its doors here and inviting people to cross the street is a really big symbol of progress in the community.
Well, when I think of unity, I think of oneness. I think that we all have such individuality and that sometimes we can operate in silos. And so I think communities are stronger when we all act as one and we act together. And so here, the Unity Hall has been a strong show of that, of people coming together to represent one cause to bring forth the Unity Hall.
Unity is a core value that I really push as a teacher in my classroom. It's really, really important to me that every single one of my students feel like they have a place that they can belong to, a group that they are unified with. And while there may be divergent thinkers and we might not all agree on the same topic and we may not think the same on a certain perspective, I really love that every single student feels like they can belong, no matter their race or their skin color or the zip code they live in or how much money they have. Every single person has a purpose, and every single person brings so many individual strengths. And I think that's what makes us beautiful, and that's what makes us unified.
I'm very excited. I think I'm excited. Everyone I work with is excited. I think that it's just amazing to have a hub, a place where people can go to explore the arts and creativity, and also to get really invaluable resources and just gather together in community.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity Hall because it serves as a place where people of all diverse backgrounds can come, learn together, meet each other, and hopefully work together to make Baltimore better.
I see equity.
Unity Hall makes me feel hopeful.
Unity makes me feel happy.
There's so much vibrance in this community, and there's so many people who are creative and who are wanting to commune together, wanting to create connections and to explore the community as a unified front. And I think just having an actual tangible spot to do that is really exciting for this neighborhood.
I'm so excited for the opportunity that exists in these walls and for these communities.
Unity Hall gives me a sense that people want to join together and people want to make Baltimore a better place.
It makes me feel that perhaps there is the chance that we could accomplish some good things in Baltimore.
I see actually hope.
So when I think of Unity Hall, I think of newness, rebirth, renewal, and hope for the community.
I see something beautiful.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity Hall because there isn't affordable office space for nonprofit groups.
Makes me feel intrigued. It's artistic, bright, and it's inviting.
This right here was water stained. It was the basement. Can you imagine water stains in the basement? So that means it came from the roof all the way down.
Buildings and infrastructures like these that create a safe haven for those type of events and things that happen rebuild communities and rebuilds trust.
You look all around Baltimore City, all around cities around the country, and almost all of them have a center for arts, a center for education that is publicly accessible. And this neighborhood for years did not. And this is intended to fill that void, and I think it will. We've got a lot of amenities here that should draw people in and be flexible use. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how the space gets used and becomes the center that we really expect it will be.
Unity Hall is a place where people can feel comfortable.
Unity Hall will be a place and fill the gap for many. So this place will serve as programming for after school. It'll serve for programming for the arts. We are having an internet cafe, so those who do not have access to the internet and Wi-Fi will have a place where they can do their homework, where they can do job applications, those kind of things. It'll also serve as a place where it can be a gathering spot and where arts, community, advocacy can now have a home for those who are not currently involved.
There's a lot of things that folks in healthy, thriving neighborhoods don't have to leave their community for. And one of those things is sit-down restaurants, places to get fresh food, but also places to gather and have community events, family events, whether that's a block party like the one that's being planned right now, or weddings and birthday parties, things that we envision for the future.
There aren't enough of these spaces where people who have been historically left out are purposefully being brought in, are being welcomed, are being encouraged to come, are being able to access things that often they feel excluded from, and are able to just enjoy themselves and have fun and experience joy and creativity and expression.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity because each community deserves a place where they can call their own. I think sometimes we try to say, well, here we're gonna drop a community center here and people can get here. I'm actually from the west side of Chicago, and I know very personally what it feels like to have to go into other neighborhoods to get the resources that you need and not necessarily feel welcome or accepted. And in some cases for our young Black males, feel unsafe going into other neighborhoods due to gangs or whatever is maybe around in that neighborhood. And so it's important that there is safe accessibility to the resources that people need, and our young Black males need to feel safe to enter a building in their community to get the resources that they need, be it for careers, be it for recreation, be it for family. Bond is gonna be in this building Our Nation's Daughters. And so it's important that we have safe resources in this building.
So I'm really excited about this concept of Unity to really come to life, and that my students have talked about it all year long. And now actually, as they're entering into summer, we have a whole building just right around the corner from our school that's gonna be called Unity Hall. So I see the realization of a dream that occurred within the four walls of a classroom really growing into a collaborative community space.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity Hall because it's very easy to be a part.
Unity Hall makes me feel rejuvenated and hopeful for what's to come next.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity Hall because there aren't world-class kitchen facilities for training as well as catering anywhere in our community.
There's not many spaces to have community meetings. There's not many spaces to have, if someone wanted to do a theater show or wanted to have a graduation or a wedding, there's not many spaces for that. And so this will create that opportunity.
Being somewhere where they can get multiple things done at once, I think is something great. And I also think having a space where folks can enjoy art. I think there aren't enough of those spaces in this area, unfortunately, and there are some really creative and expressive artists in this area, people who are really passionate about their craft, and having a place where they can showcase that, having a place where other folks can come and enjoy that, I think is definitely filling a need.
There's a lot of magic that happens from the cross-pollination of like-minded, creative, in many cases, young people that have, dedicated their careers and their organizations to benefiting Baltimore. Having them all under one roof can only do great things.
I think the other thing that it would create too is more collaboration. There's gonna be so many different nonprofits located here within this building. And so for us, the community builders, to get the chance to be neighbors with No Boundaries and with Bond and with other partners that are gonna be in the building, that's a great opportunity. We always talk about like the cooler talk, where you get to talk to your employees, and we missed a lot, which are co-workers, and we missed a lot of that during COVID due to the pandemic. But I'm looking forward to going around and talking at the cooler with No Boundaries and with Bond and with other partners in the building.
We want a community asset here. We want a place where people can gather and be comfortable. And we want the community to feel comfortable coming here.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity Hall to bring people together and celebrate and amplify their joy, their art, their passions, and bring communities together.
Whatever this space does to address issues in the city, I expect a lot of how that happens to come from the residents. And then we will kind of work together to figure out solutions.
And in certain communities like ours, you know, the one I live in Harlem Park, we don't believe that things like these can be built and that the neighborhood can be a part of it.
Unity Hall, again, is just a place that it represents newness and a restart that I think that our community is in need of.
So for the Unity Hall to be here as a 21st century facility, new office space, kitchen space, and artist studios for residents and communities that haven't had access to those type of facilities is really groundbreaking.
One of the things that I thought was really awesome that the community members really vocalized was the importance of having a place to have weddings, to have cookouts, to have baby showers and graduation parties. And I think sometimes when we think about what community needs, we think of those hard things. We think of the things that are like, oh, you need X, Y, and Z, but it's never the things that really feed your soul. And so it's so exciting to look at an opportunity in which people can gather with family and friends and laugh and enjoy and celebrate. A lot of time in our communities, a lot of what gets marketed and what gets told about the communities are the bad side of it and the things that we have to fix. And these aren't things we have to fix, right? This is people coming together to celebrate and acknowledge life. And I don't think we get enough of those opportunities. And I think Unity Hall is going to provide an amazing opportunity for people to just celebrate and commune with each other.
I wanted to share the fact that there is so much passion and joy and vibrance in this community that exists. I wanted to focus and highlight the beauty that exists in this neighborhood. And I think that that Unity Hall is a place that will really accentuate that and add an exclamation point onto that. But I think this neighborhood and many other neighborhoods in West Baltimore are often thought of for the things that they lack and not for the beauty that exists in them. And so I definitely wanted to highlight that.
I remember days where you knew your neighbor, you trusted your neighbor, and we had places in the community for us and our neighbors to gather to talk about neighborhood security, to talk about what was going on. And so with the lack of that and the lack of places for people to come be who they are and be artists and congregate, that sense of community is lost in my opinion.
I see Utah Place as this powerful, important artery throughout our city, and has historically been a dividing line. But the fact that Unity Hall exists on Utah Place is an opportunity to really change that narrative and right some of the historic wrongs of this part of the city.
Over 3 years and having been a part of such a impressive community effort to get this building built, financed, designed collaboratively. And it's joy in being here and seeing it used.
Simple, it's open, it's flexible, it can be made into whatever the people want it to be made into.
How pretty it is.
You know, where we started in 2019 when Memorial Apartments Corporation purchased this building and where we are now, and how dramatically transformed this building is. It was an eyesore, it was dilapidated, as you said, falling down, and now everything's new.
I think the biggest thing that came to my head is around creating an inclusive environment. I think that community members have long been in this community for so long, and they've seen new neighbors come in, they've seen old neighbors leave, they've seen things come and go. And so it's kind of hard to create an environment where everyone feels the same when it's a constant change taking place. And so I'm hoping that through the Unity Hall, we see all people of all incomes and races and backgrounds and, regardless of the neighborhood that they're from, being able to feel welcome in the Unity Hall, being able to feel accepted and find a place here amongst the different nonprofits here. And then for TCB, we're redeveloping and we've been committed to bringing new affordable housing and mixed income housing to the community of Central West Baltimore. And so we're looking forward to our old residents, our new residents, all being able to come and use the Unity Hall.
In this neighborhood have many different backgrounds and, are kind of, they bring that culture with them and they bring it forward and they share it. And I think that's a really beautiful and sacred thing to be able to share your history and your culture with others and for us to all be able to enjoy in that.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity Hall because this is a beautiful building that sat vacant for too long.
It's important to address needs that exist in the community and, issues that exist in the community, address, things that are going, quote unquote, wrong in the community, but it is also important to focus on the strengths of the community, the resilience of the community, the joy of the community, fun, laughter. Those things are equally important and I think have to go hand in hand.
The first thought I have in walking through this building is that this is what Baltimore, specifically West Baltimore, deserves.
Well, historically, this was a union hall, which is sort of where the inspiration for the name came from. And as we were designing the building, as we were holding community charrettes, it's not really about union, it's about unity. And so the two words are related, but they mean very different things. And this building really embodies unity more than it does union at this point. The goal is to take what shouldn't be but are currently disparate neighborhoods and bring them together.
Unity Hall makes me feel hopeful.
It needs a bunch of places like Unity Hall because that sense of community comes from gathering spaces.
And now it's starting to happen. Now this space is starting to be great. And we just need to get people to fill it up and use it and build their potential, build whatever it is they want to create, use this space to make that future happen.
All of the different people that have worked on this project with me over the last 3 years, all of the amazing community members, architects, construction team members, and how all of them have pulled together toward this common goal through a pandemic, through unprecedented social unrest in many ways, and the fact that this project is complete and it's here despite all of those things really is a testament to me of how much the community wanted this building here, wanted this building done.
I love this space.
I see fresh colors, I see brightness, and I think that a lot of times hope is what people need to feel that they're able to accomplish something or that they're being successful or just feel happy. And so I'm, even with the colors, even with the location, I just feel inspired by the work here at Unity Hall.
So as a board member and also as part of the construction team, I've been aware of and involved with the Unity project since near the very beginning. So it's very exciting to finally see the doors opening.
Unity makes me feel included.
So Unity Hall is symbolic about the name. And before Unity Hall, it was the Union Hall, which almost has the same connotation, that is a place where people can commune and work together. But the significant piece about it is that it sits on the side of the dividing line that was the side that was actually segregated.
Like a lot of neighborhoods in Baltimore, because Baltimore is a city of neighborhood, covenants and restrictions and lots of legal things were put in place to make sections of Baltimore not openly available to everyone.
In the community where Unity Hall is placed, it's placed right along a traditional segregation line where poor, Black, even Jewish residents and homeowners could not live.
I think about when I was a middle school teacher, my students experienced walking through Bolton Hill very differently depending if they were white or black.
And Utah Place in particular was a nice geographic dividing line between Bolton Hill neighborhoods and other neighborhoods in West Baltimore.
Well, in a lot of ways, this neighborhood was purposefully and maliciously torn apart along racial lines, 60, 70 years ago in the 60s and 70s. And this neighborhood's been suffering ever since.
Utah Place has been the big dividing line. People have been afraid to cross Utah Place. People have felt like it's this giant boundary. It's like this giant Berlin Wall. And we need to tear down the Berlin Wall and let people flow freely across both sides.
Utah has been historically a street that divided communities racially.
I think that there's been a long history of wrongs in the city and even further than that, but just thinking about the long history of redlining and racial segregation that has really kept members of this community, primarily black and brown folks, this is a predominantly black neighborhood. And those folks have been really kept out of a lot of institutions and a lot of spaces.
The fact that Unity Hall is sort of strategically located on a large thoroughfare that has done a lot to kind of reinforce what legal things have gone on is definitely very, very symbolic. It kind of sits in the epicenter of all of this history, which is why it's really important that this place is successful.
I started working in this neighborhood in 2012, and how far we've come in 10 years, it's amazing. We have so far to go, but the fact that this building is here, it does make me really happy.
It's very easy to dehumanize folks you don't know, folks you have no reason to be around. If you are in the position to arrange your life in a way that it always looks the way you look, it doesn't require anything of you, it's never particularly challenging.
Actually, my relationship with Memorial kind of represents that. And when I got the job, I told them that it was important for black people and to see white people in their community. It's just as important it is for white people to see black people in their community. I think it's kind of a double-edged sword that we need to address all at the same time. And so I'm kind of in the mood where, I don't know how everyone else feels in the community, but as far as unity goes and striving towards that, I think this is a great talking point and a way to open up that conversation at least.
Unity typically has come when people were put in a position where they couldn't dehumanize each other anymore because they were getting to know each other.
I believe that Unity Hall rights the wrong of not including the community.
Baltimore Unity Hall needs to throw roadblocks up into that desire to just be a part.
This is an opportunity to right some of those wrongs that have been held up in Baltimore for so many decades.
Baltimore is a better place than so many people say it is.
It's very easy to bash Baltimore. It's low-hanging fruit. It's just not impressive to do. It's like, yeah, you think, but I think it's more challenging to find hope.
Unity Hall is the place that helps people tear down the Berlin Wall in Baltimore.
I would like people to plan their revolutions here.
Baltimore needs a place like Unity Hall to symbolize that Utah Place is somewhere for people to come together and not for them to be divided.
I'd like this to be the place where we plan the little revolutions that hopefully will bubble up and make the city different.
And I think that there are so many barriers in Baltimore and invisible and visible divisions for Baltimoreans, and I think that Unity Hall is a really powerful force that's beginning to break down some of those barriers.
What this does is it puts an asset on on Utah Place, which is the historic line of segregation that is for everyone. And you look up and down Utah Place, there's a lot of social clubs, there's a lot of churches, there's a lot of private homes. There aren't a lot of public buildings, and this is really something for the community. Whether you're white, black, poor, rich, it doesn't matter. This building is open to all, and it's an asset for everyone who lives here.
And so now Unity Hall being placed here is saying, hey, I want to invite everyone in and get rid of this imaginary barrier that has kept communities separated for so long.
Central West Baltimore has always been really, really divided. There are a lot of well-intentioned people on both sides of Utah Place that don't interact with each other. And the question is, why not? We all want to make Baltimore a better place. We all want people to be happier. And that can only come from working together as a group. And for so many generations, we haven't worked together. Unity Hall is a place where we can start working together in a much bigger way.
And so having a space that is for the community, that has input of the community, that they can access and feel welcome, I think is, really helping to right some of that. Having backing by institutions and having funding, having a place that is nice to be and enjoyable, I think is major.
The wrong that Unity Hall writes is that it is an open place. It is a place that is not closed off by the boundaries that historically have happened, in this area.
In addition to that, this used to be an affluent Black community where the first lawyers were, and et cetera. So it's a really great opportunity to bring everyone back together and to really look at what the history was prior to racial covenants and bring back that spirit of affluence, of respectability, of love, of economic mobility. So it's a really great opportunity to just look back on the past, right some of those wrongs, and bring communities together, really bridge a gap between divided communities.
The wrong that Unity Hall writes is that it is an open place. It is a place that is not closed off by the boundaries that historically have happened, in this area.
When I look at this building now, I see a lot of hope.
Something that we haven't talked about is the gap that Unity Hall fills in terms of workforce development. Specifically the catering facility on the lower level. That's one of the most incredible commercial kitchens I've ever seen. That's going to be accessible to folks who want to learn a career in the cooking and food service industry.
Baltimore is full of people that love this city. Full of people that don't bleed red, but they bleed black and gold because they love this city so much.
This building is going to transform lives of the residents of 21217. It definitely will have a large impact on the community, and hopefully not just the community in Central West Baltimore, but Baltimore City abroad.
Unity Hall makes me feel full of hope.
I think Unity Hall is a place that will bring people together of all walks of life, from multiple neighborhoods, backgrounds, and that is a beautiful thing that Baltimore needs now more than ever.
And the people of this community and Baltimore will sort of tell us what needs to be here.
It's just amazing to see the building and what it is now compared to what it was when we started the project. I'm just in awe. I'm literally speechless and can't find the words for it.
My thoughts are, it is a beautiful, inviting space, and I'm just so excited for everybody in this entire zip code to experience just the vibrant center that it could be for all of us.
I'm personally excited about the Unity Hall because it is a passion project that I have worked on personally for the last 4 years. And to be able to be behind the scenes, to help with the design, to help with the funding, to help with the community outreach, is such a pleasure to finally see it materialize and to see it open.
I think it's important to tell you guys to keep doing what you're doing and to strive to keep the community involved in whatever it is you do.
So I think of Unity Hall as a place where everybody can come together, and it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, it just matters that you want to be here.
The first of what we hope will be many new investments in this neighborhood that's been historically disinvested.
As a resident of this community, this is just another symbol of progress on this block. If you look around at the developments in recent years next door, this hopefully won't be the last investment in this neighborhood.